All right, so I'm back. I know it's been a couple of years since I put out a video. That's okay. I'm back. I got a video today. I'm just gonna talk about this fellow driver. He's another YouTuber. His name is OneRich. Now you can go and check out his videos. I don't care. It's not a plug. All right. But OneRich was very inaccurate in his video about uh, owner operators. Okay, he put up a video where he basically said that this video is for the young drivers, the new drivers coming into the industry. Okay, and in the video he turned up and said that companies don't have your best interest at heart. And that the only way you're gonna make money is by being an owner operator. I mean, that's exactly what. Okay, not verbatim, but that's basically what he was saying. He was getting at, is that the only way you're going to make money in the industry is if you're owner operator. Okay. And then a couple of months later, at the beginning of this year, he puts up a video that talks about him not having a truck anymore and not driving. And all I got to say is, bruh, you should have listened to these other drivers. You should have listened to drivers who actually know. You should have listened to drivers who've done the research. Okay. So let's break this down, right? Yes, it is possible to make more money as an owner-operator in this industry. However, if the only reason that you're becoming an owner-operator is to make more money, you're a fucking idiot and you shouldn't be doing it. It's plain and simple, all right? Because you're not just buying a truck, right? You're buying a whole business, okay? Look, I don't want drivers coming into this industry thinking that they can make all this money out here in the world driving a truck as an owner-operator, just to fail, right? I don't want you to fail. I don't need you to fail, right? Nobody wants you or needs you to fail, right? What I want is for you to listen to the advice of other drivers, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure if he gets wind of this video, he's going to sit there and he's going to, whatever, say, oh, you don't drive a truck. You don't own your own truck. So what do you know? Well, it's not about whether or not I own my own truck, and it's not about, whether or not I'm an owner operator, and it really doesn't matter that I'm a company puke. What matters is that I've done a ton of research into the whole owner operator thing, and I can tell you right now, down from whether you're operating on your own authority or the company's authority, or whether you're going to have a tax ID code, or whether you can have your own DOT numbers. Truck registration alone, is expensive. Fuel cost is expensive. You file your taxes quarterly. You get your settlement checks without taxes taken out. So now you got to determine how much you got to take out in taxes, not to mention the amount of money you got to take out for maintenance costs, fuel costs, upkeep costs. You also got the freight boards. You got whether you're going to run by the mile, whether you're going to run by the percentage. If you're going to run by the percentage, what's the percentage rate? And knowing that the percentage is based upon the freight rates going in the area and so forth. So there's a lot of things that go into it, and it really is a business. So, you can't sit here and just, leave a company and become an owner operator and just start banking. It doesn't happen like that, and it really works like this, right? You want to buy your own truck, okay? There's two options that you can go about buying your own truck, right? You can lease purchase, the good old-fashioned LP from a company, or you can go to a dealership, right? What's the difference between the two? Well, the difference between the two is that with an LP from a company, depending on the company that you do the LP with, you could sit there and potentially never actually own the truck. You pay the truck down, you get to the end of your 3-year contract and you have your balloon payment. You don't have the money for that balloon payment, so the company rolls you into a new truck with a lower payment, and you'll never actually have a truck, right? And that's basically the company's way of getting you to help pay off a truck for the company, right? Another option is to go to a dealership and purchase a truck, right? What's the plus side and downside of that? The plus side is eventually you're going to own your own truck, right? The downside to that, if the freight rate drops or freight slows down and you're not making any money, guess what? The bank doesn't fucking care. They want their money. Unlike a company, that bank is going to get its fucking money, okay? And they will get that money in any possible way that they can, right? They don't care. they will come after your truck if you don't have the money to pay for the truck. Because until you have the title in your hand, that truck ain't yours, right? So then you roll back into the option of the LPs, right? LPs, depending on the company that you're with, you know, your balloon payment could be anywhere from $1 to over $100,000. It depends on the value of the truck and what the company is willing to let that truck go for, you know. Then you get down to, are you going to operate on your authority or are you going to operate on a company authority, right? What's the difference between the two? Okay. If you run on company authority, you don't have a say in the load. You know, the company says, hey, we got this load. We want you to take it from A to B. And you look at the load and you say, well, I'm not going to make any money doing that, so I'm not going to take it. And the company says, well, you know, you leased on, therefore, you know, you're operating on our authority, not your own. So you don't have the authority to sit there and turn down the load. You're going to take the load. You know, if you don't want to take the load, you're just not going to make any money. It's that simple, right? And if you operate on your own authority, you get the option of determining what load you're going to take, when you're going to take them, how much that load is going to be paid. You know, you can literally go into a negotiation process so that you get the right amount of money for the load. Okay. What is the plus side to operating on company authority? And the plus side to operating on company authority is the perks of working for the company. You know, you get the perks of working for the company without actually working for the company, if that makes any sense. What's the perks of operating on your own authority? It's exactly that. You're operating on your own authority. So you can sit there and you can run whatever you want, whenever you want, at whatever rate that you want. Okay. The downside of working on company authority is that you're stuck with that company until you decide to find another company to run for, right? What's the downside of working on your own authority? It really depends, you know. Mostly it's the paperwork, and you don't have that added support of being with the company. You know, you don't have the benefits that come with a company. You know, some companies, you know, you operate on a company's authority as an owner operator, and that company will give you a fuel discount. They'll let you use their maintenance shops. You know, they'll let you go into their yards and you know, use their showers and their facilities and things like that. So it really all depends on, you know, what exactly it is that you're trying to look for. You know what I mean? Then you get down to the paperwork aspect, right? If you're operating on your own authority, you have to get yourself set up with a tax ID code, and you need to get your company name registered, and you need to have a tax ID code. You need to have a corporation set up. You know, if you need to be an LLC or an S Corp, you know, or things like that. That tax ID is what gets you paid. Okay, you need that tax ID. If you're operating on your own authority, you need that tax ID because that's what's going to get you paid. You got to get registered for your DOT number. You got to get registered for your MCC number. You got to get registered for the IFTA, the International Fuel Tax Agreement. You got to get all that set up, and now it all comes out of your own pocket. Then you have the registration and the insurance, right? The registration on the truck. If you have your trailer that you bought, registration on the trailer, insurance on the truck, insurance on the trailer. In Maryland, registration on a tractor trailer is over $2,000 a year. $2,000 a year, bro. So there's a lot of different things that go into becoming an owner operator, you know. And then you look at how much you're going to be paid, right? Are you going to be paid by the mile, or are you going to be paid by percentage, right? If you're going to be paid by the mile, what's the rate? Is it $1 a mile, $2 a mile, $4 a mile, $6 a mile? You know what I mean? Are you going to be paid by percentage, right? Is it 60%, 65%, 75%, 80%? You know, what is the percentage that you have when it comes to your pay? You know, all these things come into effect, you know, and then you got to determine how much money do you actually need to break even and how much money are you actually going to profit, right? Then you have your settlement checks, right? Once you get your settlement check, you get your settlement check every week, and the settlement check does not have the taxes taken out. So now you got to sit there and figure out how much money you're supposed to take out for taxes, right? The general rule of thumb is between 20 to 30%, but that's for federal. Then you got the fuel taxes, and then you got state taxes, and then you got insurance payments. All this has to come out, you know. So even if you make $5-6 grand a week, you know, when you're done taking money out for taxes, and when you're done taking money out for fuel and maintenance and things like that, you might be looking at less than $1,000 a week, you know, once you're finally done. And guess what? I make right about $1,000 a week, you know, on a slow week, about a grand a week on a slow week, you know. So it really does, you know, it really does depend on everything that you're doing, and then you file your taxes every quarter, right? And not to mention you got your DOT inspections, then you got harassment from the cops, because let's be honest, cops like to pick on owner operators, you know. So there's a lot of things that go into it, and you really got to understand exactly what it is you're doing. So you can't just go into the owner operator mindset of, I'm gonna be an owner operator, make more money. It's not about making more money. You're legitimately running a business. You know what I mean? So the reason why a lot of drivers fail owner operator programs is because they don't realize that they're buying a business, not just a truck. They end up putting a lot of shit on their trucks that they don't actually need. They have no business sense. They don't know exactly what it is they're doing business wise. They don't understand the paperwork. They don't understand much of anything that they're doing. They're just hoping that they can make more money and not have to be tied down to a company. And then next thing you know, they're losing, they're failing, they're having to sell the truck, they're having to quit the job as an owner operator, and then they're having to go back into being a company driver, and then they're disgruntled, they're angry, they're upset, they're not happy. Just like OneRich.